Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Enough channel. In this video we're going to do the round 1 preview for SuperCoach BBL for the 24-25 season. So about 24 hours, a little bit more than that before it starts, depending on the time you're watching this video obviously. But we're getting very close, so I thought I'd get on and get my final team in so that you can share your thoughts or steer in a different direction, whatever it is you do with the information I'm putting out there. But we have had a few new subscribers to the channel, which is very good to see. Thanks for jumping on board. And a couple of questions about creating another league. So I have just opened up a fourth one. Hopefully it fills by tomorrow night. I might be able to tweak it a little bit, but yeah, you can see the league code there, 331477, or you can use the link in the description below this video. But I guess with that plug out of the way, we'll reveal the team as it's going to go into game 1, or round 1 I should say. I guess subject to final team selections and that sort of thing. So probably the first change you can see there is I still got Joe Clark and Tom Seifert, the two Melbourne wicket keepers for round 1 in the team. But after doing a little bit of looking around, seeing what other people are doing, a few people are running with Jake Doran on the bench. Bottom dollar price. Probably not expecting him to play, but having originally I had Seifert on the bench at 152. It's a lot of money for someone who's sitting on the bench, and we probably actually want his score this week. So I thought probably what makes more sense is to use that wicket keeper as that sort of loophole option as well for captaincy, vice captaincy, that sort of thing. So Jake Doran's come into the team. The next big change is based on the news that Glenn Maxwell is out. And I guess with the few of the early injury outs that we've received reports, I guess it has made some of the decisions a bit easier. And so the first one obviously was Maxwell out, and also with Aaron Hardy out, it made quite obvious that Overton is the option to come in. So quite expensive for a single game player. That's sort of the same logic. Maxwell might play the second game that he's got in his round 1 double, but 250k is a lot for a one game player that might not even get up. Whereas Overton's got a good role. He's got the double in game week 2, so it is preparing for that next round as well. And as you can see, we're pretty well covered with the two Melbourne teams that are on the double. So I thought, here's the obvious choice to bring in with that sort of premium cash that was available. So Seifert, as I said, has come off the bench. He's going to probably bat top 3. He's going to be a wicket keeper. So, some good points on offer there. Curran and Stoinis remain, both quality all-round options there at the Stars. Particularly with Maxwell out, you'd imagine maybe Stoinis bowls a bit more. I know a few people are going for Bo Webster, but I guess, I'd probably back Stoinis in to bowl a couple more overs than Webster, so that's the way I've gone. And obviously the price difference is the clincher there as well. But on the bench, brought in Mitch Owen, so there's a potential spot in the top order at the Hurricanes there, and he has done a bit of a job for them in the Tasmanian one-day team, opening the batting. Does bowl some handy, I think, medium pace as well from memory. So, could be like a Chowdhury type pick, a bit unknown down there in Hobart, but, also provides a little bit of coverage, just, swing back into the bowlers section, which we'll touch on in a second. Constas are brought in, so I did have Maddinson in here before. It sounds like Maddinson's out injured with a busted finger. So that does open up a spot in the top order, and I think, they'll back the young guy to do the business. So I've brought him into the bowlers. So a pretty popular trading option is Hassan Khan, covering for, I think it's Bethel, the English all-rounder, who's currently playing in New Zealand. So decent price, should be at 6, bowl a couple of overs, double game week this week, and there's still a bit of an injury cloud around Will Sutherland and the like, so I think he'll have a decent role. Fergus O'Neill I've got there still. This could easily become Tom Rogers or Kane Richardson. Really just depends on the team they roll out for their first game. But if O'Neill's in, he's the one I'm going with. He's probably the better batsman of the three, and I guess based on Shield form, probably the better bowler too. So it'd be great to see him get a bit more of a run this season. Zampa's an obvious one. Siddle, again, this probably just depends on their lineup. It could be Paris, it could be Steckity, but basically a Stars bowling option, pace bowling option. Hamish McKenzie, the spin option there. Just with Mia out for the first couple of rounds, I think most teams are going to want to have a spinner. And with the Stars, it's between him and another cheapie, Doug Warren, I think is the name. So whichever one of them gets a run will obviously slot in there. And then, so it seems a bit weird, but I've put Abbott and Richardson on the bench purely because they're both on single game weeks. But, I guess in that price point, I was looking at those two or Spencer Johnson. And then it was made nice and easy when Spencer Johnson was ruled out with injury. Probably just the other one that I've just thought of, and I haven't checked his price. Xavier Bartlett, yeah, so I was hoping he was a bit cheaper, but obviously he did go well last year. I was just thinking in that Sean Abbott type role, like, late order hitting. With Michael Neser out, he's probably going to move one spot up the order, but 200 is a bit expensive for a Heat player at the moment. And then with my flex position, so in the last video I talked about you probably want to try and use that on a higher upside type pick. And when I sort of, I guess, obviously cashed down Maxwell, I had a little bit of extra money in the bank, and I thought, well, who's the sort of player that could go off this week, but then also be useful going into game week 2, round 2. And the one that stood out to me was Darcy Short. We know what he's capable of in terms of the top order hitting. Bowls those handy little left arm wrist spinners. So, he has that opportunity to make big scores in every game. Sometimes he misses out, and that's, the beauty of the flex position is if he misses out, well, I've still got 11 pretty decent scorers that I'm happy with. Maybe a couple of the bowlers don't bat too much and you don't get those extra points there. But, we'll take what we can get to start the season. And yeah, so that's the team as it stands. I'll just sort of get the wicket keepers back up there. Obviously going pretty hard on the first game week in particular with the Melbourne Stars and Renegades. Obviously the Stars have another double in game week 3. So next week it'll probably be a couple of the Perth guys will come in for a couple of the Renegades, like probably Seafoot to make way, perhaps Khan, just depending on how he goes, that sort of thing. So probably going to be pretty aggressive with trading will be the strategy, particularly early, because we don't really know what the teams are going to set up like, and also, some of the fringe test players, what they're doing, that sort of a thing. So yeah, it is one where it's you got to do well to stay on top of it, and I know that's why some people don't play it. But yeah, like most of this stuff, I don't take it too seriously. It's just a bit of fun, something to talk about, and yeah, just particularly now we're into the school holiday, something to keep me occupied. But yeah, we'll wrap the video up there. Just one final plug for the league. I'll bring it back up on the screen as well. So 331477 if you want to join in at last minute. But other than that, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, suggestions, feel free to throw them in the comment section below this video. Give us a thumbs up, a like if you enjoy the BBL content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. I know the team pickers are going to sort of open up soon for NRL and AFL, and we'll definitely be getting amongst that. But other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.